Hello and welcome to Odds on League and Matchday 37. Only 2 games left and still we don't have a champion in France. Almost done for PSG. Alain Valnegri, how are you?
Hello. Yes, it's probably one of the saddest champions in the history of Ligue 1. Is the saddest title about Paris Saint-Germain. A really strange and difficult season for the team of the French capital, and now I am really curious how the club will be draw the next team for the next season, with which manager, who will believe Paris like player Messi finish contract and is official. The club don't will be renew his contract, and a lot of curiosity to watch the new cycle, because there must to start a new cycle.
It's going to be a hot summer in Paris, for sure, with a new manager. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, let's analyze this match day. All the games to be played on Saturday. So remember, guys, to leave your comments. As always, press the like and subscribe. And now let's go on with the show. This can be a tricky match day because there are so many games with nothing to play for, and we have to say that Alain Valnegri nailed another ACCA in the previous match day. So let's try to find the luck, Alain, again with a pinch of salt, because there are so many games with nothing to play for, like the first one, 𝐬𝐭𝐿𝐵. Both teams will meet next season in Ligue, and as you've been saying in the last weeks, very entertaining the games for 𝐬𝐴. We always see goals, and for instance, we saw both teams to score in the 6 last games for 𝐬𝐴.
Yes. It's one of the most funny in this end of the season. Now, Troyes yesterday catch a point to Strasbourg. Both teams played with his model. Angers changed the model with the last manager, and Troyes follow with the same mistake, but is a team offensive, is a team who wanna play. And for this game, I see both teams to score. Troyes is the highest both teams to score in the Ligue 1 this season, and Angers in the last 6. Every game they'll be able to score. I see both teams to score odds 1.70.
69% of the games of Troyes ended up in both teams to score, as you said, the highest record, together with Olympique Lyon and Strasbourg. You have these stats in the Oddspedia page for Ligue 1. You can find all these useful stats to play some bets. Nothing to play for in this one. Same for the next one, Clermont Lorient. Actually, the only thing to play for is who is going to end up in a highest spot in the standings. Only 1 point between both of them, but the end of the season is been way better for Clermont. It's true that they lost the last game against Brest, ending a 4 consecutive victories run. But as you've mentioned before, Lorient, they are not having a great end of the season, apart from that victory in the Parc des Princes.
Yes, except that maybe we can found the draw in Lyon, 0-0. But except that, is a difficult second part of the season for Lorient. Sunday they lose against Lens in spite of their score first in the game. In the collective perspective, and in the season feeling, I think Clermont have something more. In this moment, Clermont he's doing history, because he's the best place in his history in Ligue 1. There will be finish well this season, and I think the odds are so interesting for Clermont winning. I choose Clermont winning odds 2.15.
Okay, next game, Lens Ajaccio. Here, of course, a lot on stake for Lens, 6 points behind the PSG, but the important thing, I think, also for Lens is that they are 5 points ahead of Olympique Marseille, so they will play Champions League next season. 9 victories in the last 10 games. What an end of the season for Lens.
Yes, Lens, when they play 1 time per week, is a fast train. You watch Lens pass, and you don't have the time to follow the rhythm that the team have in this end of the season. Ajaccio disappeared. The last week I said you. Ajaccio Rennes have a lot of problem away, but Ajaccio is not there, and Rennes won 5-0 against Ajaccio. It's difficult to doesn't predict a victory of Lens. It's the last game at home. We know the ambient in Bollard. I think this type of game will be a party in the stadium for the team. Lens is mathematical second, and that one guaranteed to Lens to be in the group phase about in champions, and then doesn't must to pass to the playoff. I choose Lens winning with -1 handicap, odds 1.50.
Okay, I guess everyone can go even higher and higher in the Asian handicap here for Lens. If you want to get good odds, Lens to win is only 1.2. And Ajaccio, they lost the last 2 games, 5-0 and 5-0 against Rennes and PSG. So perhaps you can even go higher. Next game, this is a key one of the most important games at the weekend. Lille, Nantes, because Lille, they are still fighting for European spots, perhaps Europa League, perhaps Conference, and Nantes in relegation spots. No victories in the last 13 games. It's true that they are fighting with Auxerre to avoid that last spot going to Ligue, but it looks so bad. Nantes, difficult not to go for Lille for this game.
The loss, Nantes doesn't have a reaction. Their kick out 𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐿, but the team haven't a reaction. The last game they lose in Nantes against Montpellier, with who there doesn't play nothing, in the content, really, really poor. This team are really affected about the situation and doesn't have the skills to go out about this situation, because they had a lot of opportunities in the last 3 journey, but the team aren't able to win a game. That one is a bad news. The good news is Auxerre is not in very, very good form, and in the last game they lose point. I think stupid, because they have the control about some games, and they lose point, and they're still the 2 team fight against relegation is not. And Auxerre, Lille at home, really strong this season. They start really strong the game, and the last victory against Olympique de Marseille confirmed that state of form about Lille when they play at home, and Lille are playing for European spots, and he depends of himself, and I think there will be win. I choose Lille victory, but Lille win at the end of the first half and at the second half, odds 2.10.
Okay, of course, we have to back Lille, especially if they are playing at home. Next game, again, nothing to play for this Montpellier. Nice, with Montpellier in good form. Actually, they thrashed Nantes 3-0, only 1 defeat in the last 5 games, and was that crazy 5-4 against Lyon. Whereas for Nice, Alain, they just want, I guess, this season to be over.
Yes, Nice. The fans of Nice wait one thing this season, the end of the season, because it was a really, really difficult season. The season begin really bad. Didier Ligard change, correct some things, and make dream his fans with the Conference League, but signs that go out in conference against Basel. The team in Ligue 1 play without motivation. Montpellier play actually with motivation. The new signing with Michel Darzacarians back in the bench give a really strong effect, because he found a solidity in without the ball, and with the ball that have a lot of option to attack the rival. They have Wai, one of the striker revelation in Ligue 1 this season. I choose Montpellier winning because they play at home, they play with more motivation, and there doesn't have internal problem like Nice have in the last weeks. Montpellier winning odds 2.55.
So poor Nice, the season for Nice. Indeed. Next game, Lyon. Reims, Lyon is still trying to get into the European spots, although it's gonna be very difficult. They beat Monaco in the good game we had in the previous weekend. Whereas for Reims, Alain, ending poorly the season, they couldn't even beat Angers. Usually we see a lot of both teams to score lately in the games of Lyon and Reims.
Yes, and goals. But in spite of that, in my opinion, Lyon will be win this game. There doesn't depend to themselves to qualify to European spot, but there must to follow a good streak, because except the game in Clermont, Lyon finished well the season with good results, with identity of play. We feel the end of Laurent Blanc in Lyon right now. Reims have 5 months with a wonderful results, but signs that lose at home against Olympique de Marseille. Reims, the average of points is really poor. We saw that the last Sunday they play without the concentration the team needs to play in the Ligue 1, and they suffer a draw against Angers. I see Lyon winning odds 1.71.
Is Blanc gonna stay next season?
Yes. I think he do a really good job. The situation was difficult, but Blanc came, give identity to the team, give opportunity to the young players. Cherki played a lot, Barcola, Malo Gusto. I think the balance is good. It's good for the content, it's good for the future, and it's important to maybe to remember to the people the best Paris Saint-Germain, it was with Laurent Blanc in the bench.
Mm-hmm.
In the content, the Paris Saint-Germain of Laurent Blanc was able to win with 100 points in the season, and won the league in March or at the beginning of April. Right now is not the case.
Well, next game, another big team in France, Marseille, Brest. Tell me if it's a bitter season, a disappointing season for Marseille, because it's true that they beat PSG in the Coupe de France, but they couldn't reach the final, out of the Champions League in the group stage, and at the end they are going to finish third in the Ligue 1, playing the playoff again of the Champions League. So I guess they cannot be happy at the end of the season.
Especially for the Coupe de France, because Marseille had a good opportunity to win a trophy this season. They'll go out against Annecy, a Ligue 2 team is fighting against relegation, and that one maybe is the biggest regret in Marseille right now. Catch the European Champions League, I think, is good, because the fighting are really are really difficult in this season. Maybe in Champions League we can see, and there can have regret because the group stage was not very strong with Tottenham, with Sporting, with Eintracht Frankfurt, and in this group they finished fourth. And yes, but I think if we analyze how the season started, how was the relationship between fans and Tudor in August last year, not a lot of OM fans said we will go back to the champions. And that one, I think, is the positive point of the season. After the Coupe de France and champions is clear that the team doesn't have the results or the fans is waiting. Now we will be see if Tudor will be stay in Olympique Marseille and check the market to understand what is the idea about Longoria for the team. Brest's brilliant end of the season, because the situation was really difficult when Roy came in the bench at home. They catch really positive results. They won against Clermont, against Nice. Maybe away they have more problem in his last part of the season. Now for this game, without pressure for both teams, over 2.75 goals, odds 1.81.
Okay, not many teams can be happy, I think, in France. Next game is Rennes Monaco, and this is an important game for the European fight, but I guess none of these teams are also happy with their season. Of course, Monaco, they lost again against Lyon, only one victory in the last 5 games. They are risking even playing in Europe next season. And also Rennes, they got an easy victory against Ajaccio at home. They won the last 3 games and they are only 3 points away from Monaco. So if they beat them, they will be with 65 points, both teams.
Yes, Rennes finish well, especially at home, is really strong. It's top 3 of Ligue 1 with the point average when they played at home. The biggest team lose in Rennes this season. Paris Saint-Germain lose there. The potential, I think, of the team is best between the classification, but is the same things for Monaco. My question is how Philippe Clermont can be already in the bench in Monaco, because he started bad the season, he recovered some things, he go back to the problem, especially in the results, and in the last months is really negative for Monaco. A lot of game lose against rival when you must to catch results if you want to fight for the champions spots. 1 month ago, he was in the champion spot, Monaco, and right now they risk the European League. The season is really negative. The atmosphere in Monaco is not good. It's not good. In my opinion, Clermont and the vestry is broken, and that one make me choose Rennes winning. Rennes winning. The odds are so inviting because Rennes is really strong at home. I think Rennes will be win against Monaco. Odds 2.14.
Imagine next season, perhaps we don't see Lyon or Monaco playing European football. And 2 more games. All remember, Saturday, 9 p.m. is the kickoff local time. We have Strasbourg. PSG beating Auxerre. You mentioned at the beginning of the video that this is the saddest title for PSG, with the team broken and thinking about the future, about the summer, about the new manager, about Leo Messi. Neymar, in the meantime, they have to get a point against Strasbourg. Strasbourg, they were able to get a point against Troyes, and they will stay 1 season more in Ligue 1.
Yes, Strasbourg, difficult season, but they correct some limit with the new manager, able to compete against every team. Maybe yesterday they can have regret because with a victory, Strasbourg saved mathematically his spot in Ligue 1. But Strasbourg can be compete against Paris Saint-Germain. The last 5 seasons, Strasbourg compete every time against Paris Saint-Germain when they play at home. And Paris Saint-Germain, how will be the motivation for this game? Yesterday we saw again a defense with the door open and the rival score. I don't have the statistic about both teams to score with the PSG game, but in my opinion, is the highest in the last 7 seasons. Because I think 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐽 in Nice, in Lille, are really strong defensive phase. In Paris, we don't saw that. It doesn't found the balance to defend well, and the team conceded a lot of goals from the beginning of the season in Champions 2. I choose both teams to score. Strasbourg is able to, with his direct play, there can be make suffer. Paris Saint-Germain, both teams to score, odds 1.67.
This season for PSG, 20 games ended in both teams to score, 56% of the games. I thought it was more. Actually, it's the 14th team in Ligue 1 with more both teams to score. I guess we expect more clean sheets from a strong team as PSG, but still 56% of their games ending indeed in both teams to score. Ajaccio is the poorest one because they are unable to score a goal. Of course, only 13 games for Ajaccio ended in both teams to score. And talking about goals, Alain, Toulouse, Auxerre. And I say goals because Toulouse hasn't scored a goal since they played the cup final. It looks like they scored all the games in that game, all the goals in that game against Nantes, and the last 3 games ended in a goalless draw. This game is a very important one for Auxerre, still fighting to stay in Ligue 1, and the last game for Auxerre is against Lens.
Yes, with who doesn't play nothing, no motivation for Lens, only make party for the second place. Same thing for Toulouse since they won the Coupe de France. Auxerre still a serious team. They have 1 point more respect to Nantes, and in the case of their catch 3 points, in my opinion, Auxerre will be saved the category. Because Lens, not the last game is against Angers for Nantes, Auxerre against Lens, but both teams doesn't play nothing, and that one at the end of the season we saw a lot of surprise for that reason, because motivation is key. Some teams play something, another team play nothing, and in this case, I think Toulouse doesn't play nothing because is an historical season for the team, but is finished in the mind of the player. Auxerre will be play with the blood in the eyes for that game. The odds for double opportunity is really interesting, and I choose that. Auxerre doesn't lose in Toulouse, X2, odds 1.73. The most risky people can be risk the victory of Auxerre because the odds are really high.
So you think Nantes, no, will go down to Ligue 2?
The feeling said me that, and the content in the game. Not is 3 journey, not have an opportunity to go out of the relegation spot, and they're far out every time. The last game against Montpellier, I think it means the state, the psychological state about not for this end of the season.
What a season for Nantes. They were playing Europa League against Juventus, for instance. They were playing the Cup final again, and they will go down probably to Ligue. The strange season for Nantes. Well, Alain, only one game more, one match day more in Ligue 1. Tell me your penultimate safe bet for this season.
Rennes Monaco over 1.75 goals.
1.2. One is the odds for goals in that game, and your ACCA?
My ACCA is Angers 3 over 1.75 goals. Lens Ajaccio over 2.75 goals. Olympique Marseille Brest over 1.75 goals. And Rennes Monaco, Rennes winning 2.14.
Okay, Alain Valnegri, thank you. Don't forget, guys, press the like, subscribe, and good luck. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Ciao.